It is just a fact that if you're good and you negotiate well, your current company should always give you a better offer than what you can get outside. I think it's also about risk taking. US is all about a specialization, everything. Not only
Okay.
specialization in the function, specialization in eye care, specialization in plastics, or specialization in XYZ.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Echoes After EOD. Today, we are joined by Rahul Patni, sir, who is a global leader in business and marketing with over 25 years of experience at companies like Johnson& Johnson, Bayer, Danone, and Alcon. He has led billion-dollar brands, shaped global strategies, and now advises businesses worldwide on growth and transformation. Sir, it's an honor to have you with us, and welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Arnav. Thank you for the introduction. Pleasure to be here.
Likewise, sir. So first, I would like to just open the floor and understand from you how was the experience in SPJIMR like for you when you were as a student? Because I can see you were like from the first batches of SPJIMR, and so we are from
Okay.
2023 and very recent batches. So just wanted to understand what your experience was like first of all in
Oh,
college.
okay. Well, so thank you for taking me on the nostalgia trip. Okay, so I'm the second batch of SPGen. SPGen started, I graduated in 84.
Yeah.
And when we started, we were in, I don't even know if you guys know, there's Bhavan's College. Just before the hostel, there is Bhavan's College. On the top of that Bhavan's College chemistry lab, there was two rooms, one for the senior, one for the junior, one for the library, and one restrooms. That's it.
Okay.
Four rooms. And that's how we started. It was like completely a startup experience in today's world. So
Hmm.
we didn't get anything on a platter. And I'm
Yeah.
not saying but today SPGen is recognized as one of the best. In
Yeah.
those days, we had to say what is SPGen. So
Yeah.
it was a lot of it was student led. I can tell you that.
So in today's time, probably people are not sticking to their companies for quite some long time. Like they're switching after 2 to 3 years. They're trying to find that where is the right fit for them. So
Yes.
do you think that loyalty towards a company and loyalty towards yourself in terms of upskilling go hand in hand, or they are contradictory to each other?
So at every stage of my life, okay. So first of all, there is a value system, right? Um, I never went after money. Okay.
Hmm.
I went for the responsibility. Okay. So my belief was because of my passion for the work, etc. But at every stage of my work career, I would have got twice the salary, maybe. Okay.
Hmm.
Outside with my branding with Blowplast and Johnson & Johnson. But I never went because at every stage I went for responsibility. And the responsibility I got in my own company, Johnson & Johnson, was 3 times better than anything outside. Pay wise, I could have got better. I was marketing manager after 6 years of experience in a multinational like J&J.
Yes, sir.
9 years later, I was on the board of management of Johnson & Johnson in India with 2,500 employees. Um, However, what I'm saying is this was not related to loyalty. I'm not talking values as loyalty, ethics, etc. It is just a fact that if you're good and you negotiate well, your current company should always give you a better offer than what you can get outside. Plus, you're always building your um, skills in a
Hmm.
way that outside companies will not do.
Exactly, sir. I think there's a very key insight for our listeners over here that switching is not always across companies, but it can also be within the jobs in the same company, right? And
Yes,
because
within different
you
product line, for example.
different product lines, yeah. And
Yes,
this you were also getting the novelty of experiences and upskilling yourself even during that 18 years in J&J
yes,
because you were
yes.
clear as to what you wanted to do. But sir, I just wanted to double click on that and understand from you that what did you do differently to get these opportunities after some time going to someone and then asking for new responsibilities, getting out of your comfort zones, so on and so forth.
I think it's also about risk taking and being
Yeah.
clear. First of all, you have to be clear. So when I told you that all the MBAs, even in J&J, they all wanted the glamorous job of product manager, which is that. I did that, right? 3 years. Not many people, an MBA didn't want to go into sales. and I wanted to go
Mhm.
into sales. So people
Mhm.
like my boss asked, "Are you sure?" I say yes, because it's really good for my career. I know I'm building my skill sets and lateral skills. And if I want to be a general manager of sales and marketing or marketing director later or VP of commercial, if I know sales, it is really important. So he asked by me and encouraged. They said yes, why not? So I went into sales. In 2 years, I did exceptionally well in 2 years in sales. I was brought back as general manager of marketing. Okay. Then I had a certain what you call plateau in my career, or kind of there's not much to do in terms of
Mhm.
higher level. And
Mhm.
then this opportunity came up, and I asked my managing director, um, and it's interesting. I said, I want to do something different. And because my thing was, if I go as a leader and if I have the right people, I can do this. I can manage it. But it was a risk, right? I could have been
Mhm.
fired in 6 months or 3 months.
Mhm.
So the
Mhm.
interesting question was, then MD said, "What about HR?" And that came out of the blue, which was my favorite area, because I was very strong on training and development. I was very, because I had already done sales management.
Okay.
And so I said, yeah, why not? And I was general manager of HR at the age of 32
Mhm.
with 45 HR employees, 13 plant locations, including industrial relations, labor relations. In those days, they were labor union, but I had very good, capable people below me.
So it may or may not work in some companies, but what is your point of being specialized versus generalist, especially early in the career, sir, as compared to?
Fantastic, fantastic question. So, whatever I told you it worked for me.
Yeah.
Okay, here.
Yes, sir.
But it did not, and it will not work in the US. In the US, my profile would not have worked in the US.
Why,
Oh,
sir?
I
How is
did
it
sales,
different?
I did marketing, I did HR, I did this, and general management. At that stage, US is all about a specialization, everything. Not only
Okay.
specialization in a function, specialization in eye care, specialization in plastics, so specialization in XYZ. So you have to balance out what opportunities you're getting, what is your risk-taking ability,
Mhm.
and what the world is likely to offer. I will say
Exactly.
one more. Um, the best time to look for a job
Mhm.
is when you are not looking for a job. When you want a job, then the need is more from your side. You
Yeah.
should always be in a stage where companies or other or recruiters are asking for you, can you consider this job? Okay, do you want to do this? That's when you get the best offers, in my mind.
Thanks for that context, sir. And I would like to take you, like when you went to US from J&J. So I assume there would be a lot of changes which happened as compared to the working environment of India. So just wanted to understand what are the changes which you witnessed in US regarding culture, working styles, etc. How was the experience over there?
Yeah. So I can tell you one thing. It was tough, but
Yeah.
it was also easy because I got transferred in the same company. So I was in J&J India, I got in J&J US. So the product line was the same. I knew the business very well. Okay. So that was the easy part. So versus somebody going to another country in a different job and a different industry and a different region. That would be tough. Okay. So the easy part was I knew the product and the industry well. But there were a lot of other issues. A consumer, um, on the FMCG side, okay, how things are done in the US. The scale is very different. So
Right.
there are a lot of things which I was trained for, or which I enjoyed in India. Those were not there in the US at all. So for example, I told you I was a generalist. And from a generalist, I went into a product where we had a product manager for coupons, product manager for hoardings, or literally like that. I mean, that kind of specialization was there
Wow.
in
Mhm.
marketing also. And if you come from a generalist background or a general manager,
Mhm.
it was very tough because I went back to like what I was doing 20 or whatever, 10 years back, like when I just
Right.
started from Switzerland.
Mhm.
But the scale is huge, and the complexities are huge. You are also doing global. You have a very diverse workforce. Culturally, there are a lot of issues. I think two biggest areas where Indians in general speak a lot, speak speak very fast,
Mhm.
and generally are not good listeners. Okay, and
Okay.
I was all three of them. Okay. I used to speak very fast. I was
Yeah.
all into action mode. Okay.
Mm.
And result orientation, coming to the conclusion fast. And so I had to learn to be patient. So that was one. The second part was, I can tell you one thing. If you go from here to US in
Mm.
FMCG, it is a
Mm-hmm.
very tough transition. Medical device, industrial products, technology, etc. I was fortunate that I was in medical device.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but if I had gone into something like a, a clean and clear or a Neutrogena cosmetics,
Mm-hmm.
that's a very different thing. It requires a lot of knowledge of culture in US, etc. The US market, global market is relatively very easy for Indians to handle, but it's
Mm-hmm.
the US market which is tough.
So,
Yes,
especially in the era of AI, sir, where a lot of things are getting automated, and even the creative things, right? Those ideation we can get from the AI prompt itself. How do you think that the characteristics or characteristic traits of a good marketeer person is changing, both from the geographies of India and US? And what skill set would you like place a lot of emphasis on as compared to the others for the people who are in the marketing space right now?
so I think it's a relatively new field, AI. I mean, right now I have not been in
Mm-hmm.
this business for 6 months. In the last 6 months, when AI
Mm-hmm.
has really come in, but what I would say is it has made things so much easier.
Yeah.
So all the processes thing, right? For example, discoveries, especially in consumer medical devices or medical industry or pharma. I mean, AI can do so much of your discovery phase so
Yeah.
quickly for R&D people. Let's say, I mean, to find a cure for cancer. I mean, I'm talking general stuff, right?
Okay.
You will get so many alternatives. But as far as the marketing person is concerned, the most important thing is still AI is a tool, but how do you use that tool is about your thinking, right? It can help you in productivity, for example, how to run a meeting, etc. But it's
Mm-hmm.
not going to help you in terms of cross-functional, cross-regional collaboration and negotiation.
Mm-hmm. So I had one question on like look back on the days where it did not go well, or probably you can say those were the down days for you. So what are the major learnings which you got out of them? Because I have read that failures teach you more than successes do, because success just keeps you on moving, but failures basically change your perspective towards what you're trying to
That
do.
is true. That is true. I don't see, and I'm not saying this arrogantly, but
Hmm.
on
Hmm.
the job, I have not had a failure. I might have been average. Okay.
Right.
I may not have
Hmm.
been super spectacular success, but it is not like I launched a product and it was a failure. Average days, yes, but that does not mean there were no what you call letdowns, or
Hmm.
there was
Hmm.
no break in my what's the right word? The downward turn in my career.
Ah,
Yes,
right.
there was. Okay,
Yeah.
but every time there was a gap where I thought there was a downward thing.
Hmm.
I took it as a challenge and changed the course.
Okay.
And I
So can
could
you
do
give an
that.
example of that?
I was already in 6 years. I was in marketing manager. So
Hmm.
what I would have done after that? I mean, it was a my boss was like some 30 years senior to me. So why
Okay.
not go to sales and add value, things like that. So I did all of that.
And so I think that in today's podcast, we covered a lot of themes. And thanks for sharing about your career, sir. And this also brings down very structured insights for our listeners to listen to. And I just want to thank you, sir, for giving your time for this podcast, especially on a Sunday. And I think it will be immensely useful for all the listeners. Thank you again, sir.
I hope so. And again, like I said, I'm not I don't want to project myself as an expert. I can only share my wisdom of what I have got.
Yeah.
At the end of the career, you're not going to be known as, oh, general manager Johnson and Johnson or
Yeah.
XYZ Consulting or senior partner in so and so. It's going to all go away. You're going to be known as Arnav, and I'm going to be known as Rahul Patni. So, what do
Mm.
you want Rahul Patni to be known for? It's
Yes.
again, like I tell you, it's the ikigai. It's like
Mm.
how do you, what are you passionate about? What do you like to do? And the cross section of all of those things, which is
Yes.
important. Give a
Yes.
balanced life.